Most traders enter the market with a very short-term mindset. They open a chart and immediately think about one thing. What will happen next? Will this trade win? Will this trade make money? And because of this thinking, every small movement in the market feels important. Every candle feels meaningful. Every loss feels painful. Every win feels exciting. And this emotional cycle keeps repeating. But here is the truth that profitable traders understand very clearly. Trading success is not built in one trade. It is not built in one day. It is built over time. And that requires a completely different way of thinking, a long-term mindset. In this video, I want to explain something deeply important: how profitable traders think in the long term. Because this mindset is what allows them to stay calm. It is what allows them to stay disciplined. And it is what allows them to grow their account steadily, month after month, year after year. If you stay with me until the end of this video, you will understand how to shift your thinking from short-term pressure to long-term stability, how professionals manage their emotions, and how you can train your mind to think like a consistently profitable trader. And if you want to continue building a strong trading mindset, consider subscribing to Bull Mindset. This channel is focused on trading psychology, discipline, and long-term consistency. Now let us begin with a simple but powerful truth. Short-term thinking creates emotional trading. Long-term thinking creates disciplined trading. This is where everything begins. When you think in the short term, every trade feels like a decision that defines you. If you win, you feel confident. If you lose, you feel like you made a mistake. And this creates pressure. You start chasing wins. You try to recover losses quickly. You feel the need to prove yourself. And slowly, your decisions become emotional. Now let us look at how profitable traders think. They do not focus on one trade. They do not focus on one day. They do not even focus on one week. They focus on a series of trades. They understand that one trade means nothing. It is just one outcome in a long sequence, and this removes pressure. Now let us go deeper. Why is long-term thinking so powerful? Because it changes how you react. When you think long-term, you do not panic after one loss. You do not get excited after one win. You stay stable. You stay consistent. And this stability is what creates success. Now let us talk about what short-term thinking looks like in real trading. A trader takes a trade. It loses. Immediately, they feel frustrated. They feel like something is wrong. They want to recover quickly. So they take another trade. They increase their risk. They act without thinking. And this usually leads to more losses. Now compare this with a long-term trader. They take a trade. It loses. They do not react emotionally. They accept the loss. They understand it is part of the process. They move on. They wait for the next setup. Their behavior does not change. This is discipline. Now let us talk about something very important. Profitable traders think in probabilities, not certainties. They do not expect every trade to win. They understand that even the best strategy has losing trades. They accept uncertainty, and they trust their system over time. This is a key part of long-term thinking. Now, let us move into real examples. Imagine a trader who focuses on short-term results. They take a trade. It wins. They feel confident. They increase their position size. They take more trades. Then they lose. The loss is large. Now their confidence drops. Now they hesitate. Now imagine a long-term trader. They take a trade. It wins. They do not change anything. They keep the same risk. They follow the same process. Then they take another trade. It loses. They still do not change anything. Their behavior remains stable. This is consistency. Now let us consider another situation. A trader experiences a losing streak. Short-term thinking creates panic. They feel like something is wrong. They change their strategy. They hesitate. They lose confidence. Now imagine a long-term trader. They experience the same losses. They do not panic. They review their process. They continue following their system. They understand that losing streaks are normal. They stay disciplined. This is mental strength. Now let us go deeper into the mindset. Long-term thinking builds patience. You stop rushing trades. You stop chasing the market. You wait for quality setups. And this improves your performance. Long-term thinking also builds discipline. You follow your rules consistently. You do not change your behavior based on emotions. Now let us talk about mental frameworks that support long-term thinking. The first framework is thinking in series. Do not judge one trade. Judge a series of trades. The second framework is accepting losses. Losses are not failures. They are part of the process. The third framework is focusing on execution. Focus on how you trade, not the result of one trade. The fourth framework is emotional stability. Stay calm, stay balanced. Now let us talk about practical exercises. One powerful exercise is zooming out. Look at your performance over weeks and months, not days. This helps you see the bigger picture. Another exercise is journaling. Write down your trades, write down your thoughts, write down your emotions. This builds awareness. Another helpful practice is setting realistic expectations. Do not expect to win every trade. Expect to follow your process. Another exercise is reviewing your behavior. Ask yourself, did I follow my plan? Another important exercise is slowing down. Do not rush decisions. Wait for your setups. If this video is helping you understand long-term thinking, consider subscribing to Bull Mindset, because mindset is the foundation of trading success. Now let us go even deeper. Long-term thinking builds real confidence. Not emotional confidence, but structured confidence. Confidence that comes from repetition. When you follow your process again and again, you begin to trust it. And when you trust your system, you stop reacting emotionally. You stay calm. You stay focused. You stay disciplined. Now let us talk about consistency. Consistency is not about winning every trade. It is about behaving the same way every time. It is about following your rules. It is about controlling your emotions. It is about staying disciplined. Now let us talk about growth. Profitable traders focus on steady growth. They do not chase big wins. They do not try to double their account quickly. They aim for small, consistent gains. And over time, these gains compound. Now let us talk about patience again. Patience is one of the most important qualities in trading. You must wait. You must allow your system to work. You must avoid forcing trades. Now let us talk about discipline again. Discipline is what keeps everything together. Without discipline, even the best strategy will fail. Discipline means following your rules every time, even when it feels difficult, even when emotions appear. Now let us move toward the final message. Trading is not about winning today. It is not about winning this week. It is about building something that works over time. It is about thinking long term. It is about staying disciplined. It is about controlling your emotions. Let me leave you with one final thought. If you focus on short-term results, you will always feel pressure. But if you focus on long-term growth, you will find stability. Focus on your process, focus on your behavior, focus on your discipline, and over time, your results will follow. That is how profitable traders think. And if you want to continue building that mindset, subscribe to Bull Mindset. I will see you in the next video.